Oh my gosh. It's literally midnight. I need to go to bed. Hi everybody, welcome to my first YouTube video. I'm so excited that I finally set up a little studio for myself. I have been doing this on Snapchat for a little while now, and while it was fun, it was just time to move on to bigger and better things. So, a little disclaimer, I still have creases in my backdrop, and I have some shadowing still going on with my lighting. It is still new. I'm still working out all the kinks, but I was so excited to get all this equipment in and to get everything set up. I just had to film. If you want to see how I accomplished this look today, then just keep watching. I like to start off by moisturizing my face with the Belief, the True Cream Moisturizing Balm. A little goes like a long way. I just dab a little bit on my face. I'm sorry if you see me looking like this all the time because my viewfinder is down here and I'm like not used to it, and my mirror's over here, so I'm just gonna be looking everywhere. Now that that's all dry, I'm gonna be priming my face with my Benefit Professional Primer. Next up, I'm gonna be taking my Smashbox Primer Water. Next up, I'm gonna be taking this Laura Mercier Silk Cream Foundation. This is a medium to full coverage foundation, and I'm just going to be putting this on a damp beauty blender. I'm just kind of working my way around my face. Now after that's all done, I'm just going to be taking this same foundation on a JH03 brush, and I just like to blend this down my neck. Mainly, did you hear that? Mainly I've been doing this simply because I am so pale right now, and I know it, and this foundation doesn't really match me, but I don't like looking super pale. I don't really enjoy that. Let's please put on some concealer. Okay, I'm going to be using NARS in shade Canal. I've never known how to pronounce it, but that's the shade I use. I'm just going to be putting this under my eyes and down the sides of my nose and all of those high points of my face. Now with my damp beauty blender, I'm just going to go in and blend all of this out. Now, we're going to be using our Laura Mercier setting powder because she is an OG. I'm going to be going in with that same beauty blender that I was using earlier, just tapping off the excess, and then I'm just going to be lightly pressing this under my eye area first. Now I just like to lightly press this into my skin in those areas that I'm predominantly oily. I don't find it necessary for me to press this in all over my skin. I like to just do it in my oily areas, which happens to be my T-zone. Now I'm just going to be taking that Laura Mercier powder on a giant fluffy brush. This is the JH01, and I'm just going to be tapping off that excess, which is so much. Now I'm just going to dust this lightly all over my face to just set the rest of my foundation. Today for bronzing and contour, I'm going to be using my Smashbox contouring palette. I'm going to be starting off with the middle bronzer. Now I'm just going to dive in for my contour, just give myself a little definition, and I'm going to be using the JH05 brush for that. Recently I've been using a small Sephora shadow brush for my nose contour. This one is number 15, and I'm just going to be using that darker shade. I'm going to be combining two different blushes. One by NARS and one by Tarte. This Tarte one has a darker undertone to it, and this NARS one has more of a peachy undertone to it. I'm just going to lightly dive into both of those and then tap off the excess. We're alive. Yes. I'm going to be using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in shade Caramel, but I'm going to be doing my eyebrows off camera today because they are not the star of the show. I'm going to start off priming my eyelids with Smashbox 24-Hour Photo Finish Shadow Primer, and I'm just going to tap this all over my eyelid with just my finger. Now once I've let that kind of sit for a second, I'm going to be using my JH07 to pick up just a tiny bit more of Laura Mercier's powder just to set my eyes. Now the benefit of setting your eyes like this is that when you first apply your shadows, it's very easy to blend them out. It's not super tacky. If you like that tacky feeling, then by all means, do not set your eyes. However, I hate it, so you will always catch me setting my eyes with something. For today's look, I've picked out 3 different palettes. I'm not sure if we'll end up using all 3, but I know we'll at least use 2 of them. Now to start today's look, I'm going to be using the Jaclyn Hill Vault Collection. This is going to be the palette Bling Gloss, and we are going to dive into Sparks, which is this maroon shade that you'll find here. Now to start off, I'm just going to be working this into my crease line. This is actually going to be my transition shade, which is a very bold transition shade, which means we better get working. Next up, I'm going to be using shade Mystic and Rockstar. I'm just going to lightly tap into both of those, tap off the excess. As you can see, I'm really starting here in this outer crease line. And I'm going to use it, and then I'm going to sparse out that extra product to the rest of my crease. But then really focus here on that outside crease. Now I blended this out with a 27 Pro blending brush from Sephora. Now using a JH38 brush, which is more of a dense, smaller detail brush, diving back into this original Sparks and Rockstar. But now I'm just going to be doing small detail work right here on that outer crease line, and I'm just going to connect what I've already blended into my lower lash line, but I'm not going to take it into the lower lash line because, honey, I got different plans for downstairs. Next, with a more dense, clean, fluffy brush, we're going to be using the JH33 in shade Hush Hush. So I definitely lied earlier when I said that Sparks was my transition shade because I decided it was too harsh even when I was blending it out. So Hush Hush is kind of really like my transition shade now. Just wanted to update you so you knew that I wasn't trying to falsely lead you. I want it to be very bold, but I want it to be, you know, toned bold. Now using Max Fix Plus, this is scented like coconut and I die for it. It smells so good. Anyway, I'm gonna wet down a small shadow brush so that my pigment all over my eyelid, which we are gonna be using Glitz and Glam, is nice and strong and pigmented. Now as my brush starts to dry a little bit, I like to just lightly grab the pigment. I really barely tap it, tap off the excess, and I just barely tap like where the crease line is. And that just helps to blend this out a little bit. I am not going for a cut crease, but I'm not really going for a super blended look either. We're just chilling in the middle today. We're just having fun with it, you know? Now our upper lid is definitely finished, but we have a whole under eye that we have not played with yet. So to start off, I'm just going to wipe away any small fallout that I would have had just packing on those pigments. I honestly barely had any, and I didn't really put any powders under my eyes simply because I have used these shadows before and I know that their fallout is just not that much. Now we are going to be switching palettes, still in Jaclyn Hill's Vault Collection. This time we're going to be using Armed and Gorgeous. We're going to dig in here with this shade Access. Very excited about that. I'm going to get a pretty decent amount of product on this brush. So I'm just going to pop this and blend it under my under eye. And I just blended this all out with a JH32 shadow brush. Next, I'm going to be taking this JH39 small pencil brush. I can't talk for shit. Then I'm going to closely work this into my waterline, trying not to go down. This yellow that we already used was our transition shade, so we're going to go in with a little bit darker of this orange tone agent, and we're just going to work this in our lash line. Now that that is done, I'm going to be using a JH43 brush. I'm going to be taking shade Top Secret. I'm going to be lining this very tightly to my lash line. Next up, I'm going to be doing my eyelashes, and I'm going to start off by curling them. The realty as to why I have this eyelash curler is because I didn't have one when I went to basic military training for the Air Force. That shit was crazy. Anyway, and I needed one for like graduation weekend, for Airman's Week, which is the end of basic training, and I didn't have one. And there were no makeup stores anywhere on base that I was able to go to, that I had any access to, so I ended up finding one at Claire's. I don't know. And then I fell in love with it. It was cute, and it actually like works. My eyelashes curl very well with it, and now I just use it. Alright, back to the realty. I'm going to be using a Lancome mascara. This one is impossible to read. Oh my gosh. I literally have 20/20 vision. It's fine. The wand looks like this. It's definitely for lengthening. I'm just going to do a very light coat of mascara on my lashes so we can prep for falsies. Now I have applied some Duo Lash Glue to a pair of House of lashes. I'm so sorry because I forget the style that these are called, but I don't have the box anymore because my cat got a hold of it. So blame Binks, not me. I'm really sorry. When I finished putting my lashes on, I just did a light coat of mascara to blend them and to finish out my waterline. Now that that is all done, I decided I want to put on some eyeliner in my bottom waterline. I'm going to be using Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in shade 0. Now I'm going to be using Urban Decay's setting spray in De-Slick because I am oily and I have a lot of powders on my face and I don't want to be cakey. I'm going to be using my favorite highlighter palette at the moment. It's called the Skin Twinkle Volume 2 Lighting Palette from Tarte. I love the smell of this palette. Smells so good. We are going to be mixing these two beautiful shades here. They are called Daylight and Skylight, and I'm going to be using the JH09 brush, and I'm just going to be putting this all over the high points of my face. Yes. Oh. Now to highlight the bridge and tip of my nose, I like to use this tiny little JH42 brush. It is perfect for snatching my nose. Work! I'm going to be using, again, this same brush, same combination under my eyebrows and in my inner corner. I'm going to be finishing off with a nude lip by Tarte. This one is in shade Rum Peach. I'm pretty sure I got this in like an Ipsy box or something. But I'm just going to be putting this all over my lips. Now I'm just going to be finishing with a Buxom gloss. This one is in White Russian, and I'm just going to be putting a pretty decent coat on. I'm going to be finishing off with Urban Decay De-Slick and Max Fix Plus. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching my first YouTube video. I'm so happy I got to do this for y'all today, and I'm so excited for what I can improve and make better and show you all the great content that I have planned out for the upcoming weeks. Don't forget to hit that big red subscribe button down below. Leave me a big ol' thumbs up and maybe a comment if you're feeling spicy. And if you really want to, hit that little bell for notifications every time I post a video. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh my lord! Look, this is how bright this light gets.